So I grew my profile super fast by doing primarily lead magnets. So I started posting like June, July of last year. So it's like about 8, 9 months ago. And we've hit a solid foundation of, 8 million impressions. So, and I have a lot of posts that go viral. I'm kind of an expert at the whole AI automation space. So that's why you can trust me. Um, and yeah, I do a lot of these posts and almost everything I do is completely automated. So the posts that you see here, the pictures that you see here, it's all pretty much automated. So I really know my stuff. So that's why you should trust me. And that's why you should listen to me and not listen to all those other guys that are like, I built this OpenClaw thing, but they've never used OpenClaw before. That's you got to be wary of these people on the internet that are doing these LinkedIn posts because or these the posts that you see on like Twitter X or LinkedIn a lot of them are just they're just influencers and they've never done this before. That's the vast majority. I don't want to put a number on it, but it's high. So it's rare that you find somebody that actually does the content like me and actually builds it. I build everything. So let's get into it. So what we're in right now, the AI automation phase is as big or bigger than all of these technological revolutions. Now, obviously, we can go super far back, but I'm going to start with the typewriter. And the typewriter was transformational because before the typewriter, we were writing everything by hand, and therefore information distribution took forever. And then the typewriter came out, and next thing you know, we can type really fast, and we could start standardizing things. And then it created industries, new industries such as the book industries, which, quite frankly, they did exist, but not really at scale. Then, new things were born, like libraries were born, like books, sales of books were born, et cetera, et cetera. So that just changed. And then, mail was born because of that. The whole mail industry went through a transformation. So that, like, quite literally was a huge transformation. And then, the internet was born. And then after the internet, personal computer was born. The internet was actually born around the same time as personal computer. But when the personal computer first came out, there's not much we could really do with it. It wasn't until around the dot-com bubble came out, Steve Jobs revolutionized the personal computer, made the Mac OS X operating system, super user friendly as opposed to this thingy here. And then, it's all happened around the same time, like the 90s, the 2000s, the dot-com bubble, all of that happened. And that just changed the way that businesses had to basically share and advertise and do their business, right? Like a business just used to be a storefront business. And now with the dot-com bubble and especially smartphones after that, businesses had to learn how to do, I don't know, sell stuff online. The Shopify was born, all of the SaaS companies, Google pages were born, SEO was born, all of that stuff was born, right? So it completely changed everything. And now we're in this new wave, and the new wave, it's not just businesses have to change, businesses have to change all over again. And it's more than just what the business have to do. It's you as the individual has to change too. Because in the past, it was always like access to information has just gotten better and better and better and more instant. Now it's not only access to information is better and it's like immediate with AI automation, but it's intelligence. Like automation, AI automations is just augmented intelligence. So now you are not competing with like other businesses that are using the tools. You're competing with AIs that are using this. Now, I'll go into that in a second. So this has been a thing for a while. Like Google DeepMind is what started this. But it was ChatGPT that really brought this to market and popularized it. In the first few years ChatGPT was around, it was like, it's like I could summarize stuff. I could kind of make an email. Like it wasn't that good. But just recently, like last year and even coming to this year, the adoption and the technological revolution is just it's incredible. It's out of this world how fast it's moving. It's become so sophisticated. And now it's like we're in the part where like AI agents, if you're thinking that AI agents still can't replace humans, or it's like, if you're just operating with ChatGPT, well, recently, I don't know if you heard the news, this is about a month ago, a company, actually less than a month ago, February 26th, so like less than 3 weeks ago, Block is a company owned by Jack Dorsey, the guy that made Twitter. And they just cut half their workforce, so 4,000 employees. Why? Because AI agents could do it. And the market reacted extremely positively. So guess what? Every other company is being like, that's not already doing this, being like, shit, I need to do this now. Um, a year ago, there was Claude Code, there was Codex, but developers were like, my job's fine. AI, it's all right. at coding and programming all this stuff, but it's not that good. Now it's better than coders. It's better than the most senior coder out there. So the conversation is now about like can it do it, but it can already do it. It's already better than us. Which one is better? Is it Codex, which is ChatGPT, or is it Claude Code, which is Anthropic? For me, it is Claude Code, but that's my answer to that. And then if you're a business, you're like, all right, like my business is fine. I don't really need to worry about this. It's like, yeah, you do, because not only do you have to compete against businesses that are using these technologies, but the future is a business that is owned and operated just by AI agents. And that's like, for example, Multbook, which is a business that came out and it was just AI agents spun up other AI agents and could humans participate in this? No, it was just AI agents. But how does this benefit the human? Well, a human owned this, and the human that sold this sold it for millions. So, so this is a huge new business opportunity, right? So yeah, like this is it's just incredible the world that we're in right now. So AI isn't coming, it's here and it's accelerating super super fast. The normal adoption rates, like for example, the dot-com bubble, it was like a good 20 years from the dot-com bubble until like all of these technologies that came out, all the SaaS, digital marketing, whatever, really became mainstream and really started taking over, which was like the end of the 2010s, right? It started in the end of the 90s is when the technology started, and it really didn't reach like full adoption and like, the stocks started crushing it and the technology started crushing it until 20 years later. Now it's like way faster. Now it's only been 3 years since ChatGPT came out. Only been. And it's already changing everything so fast, just in 3 years. Imagine what it's going to be in 2 years from now. So 5 years later, it's going to be incredible. So now it's like you got to change your framework here. It's like you need to master this stuff now. Like it's there's no choice to this. The good news, and I actually sent out a newsletter about this, so we'll just go over it real fast. The good news is that you're early. I know you may think that you're not that early, and a lot of you have probably seen this image here, but the majority of the world has not used AI. And of those that have used AI, have just used ChatGPT free version, which is all the green squares here. And so you're all here because you've all used, you're the yellow here, which represents about 0.3% of the population. Maybe it's like 0.4% of the population now, because this was as of February last month. And we all know things are moving so fast. So maybe it's zero point 0.4. Point being is you're all super early, insanely early. The majority of people who have used AI have only used just ChatGPT free and just think it's just that. A lot of you here know that it's more than just that. And there's only a few of us that are in the red. That would be me and a few others here on this call, and maybe it's you too. But if you're in the red, then you're super early, like you're just ahead. But if you're in the yellow, you have a huge edge because you're still only 0.3% of the population. So it's incredible. So don't worry. There's a way for you to survive and master this, okay? So point being is ChatGPT and just simple AI isn't enough. You got to do AI automations. Now, AI automations used to be super hard to do because it used to be only like N8N like a year ago. Now it's way more than that. And it's become not way more, it's become way more easier to do with Claude Cowork, for example. So there's some key things in your AI automation journey that you need to understand. You got to understand the different levels of AI. Some people are teaching this, but the majority of people out there who are teaching AI and stuff like that, they're not teaching you this stuff. And you got to understand this because it's going to help you. Not only are you going to be ahead, but you're going to master this way faster because you're going to understand what the different things use, and so you can properly use them. So the first level of automation, well, the first level of automation is that there is no automation. It's just humans being humans, right? And then there's level one automations. And the level one automations is the stuff that we've already done. That's that we all know, we've all used here. That's just the chat GPTs of the world, the Claude or the Gemini, or just the basic chat interface. You're chatting with it and you're asking it, and you're doing the majority of the work, and it's just giving you some decisions. Cherry, it's just, making an email for you, summarizing an email, I don't know, updating your calendar. That's it. The human does all the work, but the AI does some assistive stuff, right? Now, the next level is the partial automation. So there's a workflow, and it's executing the workflow, but at each part of the workflow, it stops and it asks the human for input or the human signs off on something. So this is what we're all starting to experiment now with Claude Cowork, and it then does this, and a few others do this as well, but the biggest one is Claude Cowork, right? You can even do this in ChatGPT as well with their agents builder, but honestly, it's not that good of a tool, so don't do it. Claude Cowork is far more superior and easier to use and much more powerful, etc. So then the one that's becoming even more better is AI can do pretty much everything, and the human's role is just monitoring a dashboard, like that dashboard that I showed you earlier of my OpenClaw, for example. That's an example of that. Or Claude Code executing an end-to-end workflow or executing a bunch of workflows and it's doing all of that, for example. And what's the human role is they're just monitoring, they're getting alerts. If an issue happens, they're fixing it, they're tweaking things, and so on and so forth. So this is the race of where everyone is right now. Now, what we just got introduced to, like in the coming months, is OpenClaw, and there's already competitors to OpenClaw. There's Pradbar, I can't even pronounce it. This thingy here, it's called like Pradbot or something like that. Light mode. You can see it better. User. It's this thingy here. Okay. Here's all my keys. Yeah, it's my Pradbot. But anyways, we'll get into this later. And then there's the open clause as well, of course, which is this. And can I put this into light mode? Yeah. There we go. So we can all see it better in light mode, right? Sorry, I like dark mode, but yeah. So now there's competitors to it. The competitor to OpenClaw is Pradbot or something like that. There's also NanoClaw. There's also there's a bunch. There's Hermes as well. So there's a bunch of new competitors, and very much they do everything. They can do everything, or they can do conditional, or they can do partial, or they can just do assistive. But they can do up to high. They can fix themselves. They can even possibly do L5s as well. But in a level 4 automation, which is typically what OpenClaw does, is level 4, is they do everything and the human just, defines the goals, the constraints, which is like guardrails, monitors for compliance. That's it. And then the level 5, which is sort of what OpenClaw can do, but it hasn't been popularized yet, is AI does everything. The automations just do everything, and the humans are just, they're sitting on a beach in Mexico with their Corona, or they're in Bali, or they're, I don't know, somewhere else, and they're just, having a cerveza, a beer, and enjoying life, right? Like, this is what we're getting to pretty soon. This is almost already happening, and basically the automations just do everything. So a mistake that I see so much is OpenClaw just came out. Everyone's like, "Give me the OpenClaw thing." We give them the OpenClaw thing, and they have no idea how to do this. Well, yeah, of course. Like you can't just go from, going from zero to being a physicist overnight. Like, not saying OpenClaw is the equivalent of being a physicist, but I'm painting the analogy here of that is that there's a lot of steps that's involved into learning to becoming, OpenClaw master. You can jump to it and you can try things, but you're most likely going to fail. You're most likely going to give up. It's most likely going to break a bunch of things because you're going to give it too much control. Like you're just not going to know what you're doing, right? So there's learning steps here. Maybe being like an auto mechanic or something like that is a better analogy, but you guys get the thing here. So your learning roadmap for learning this stuff is you got to start with this. You got to start, if you're only in ChatGPT, try the other guys. Try the Geminis, Perplexities, and Claudes because they all do different things better than, and we'll go over that in the next slide. Then you got to go up to the level 3 automations, which would be the coworks, the Claude codes. It's progressive. Learn how that works. Do like do a skills, for example. We just covered that earlier this week. We did a Claude skills. We set that up. Learn how automations in there work. Maybe do some N8N if you want to really get technical. Get into Claude code, which is the most technical. And then, I recommend doing that. Now, some people here, you guys already know Claude Code and all that stuff. You're already technical, then yeah, sure, go for the OpenClaw. Like you've probably already done it if you're in that boat. If you haven't done that, then you got to do this logical progression because you're just gonna fail and you're not gonna have a fun time. Now, what you gotta know about all the different LMs out there and the different AIs is that not only are they changing super fast, but what they're good at is changing really fast. For example, Claude used to be the best writer. Now Gemini is the best writer. ChatGPT used to be the best image video generation. It's still really good, but now Gemini is the best at that. Perplexity used to be the best at deep research. Now Claude has become really good at deep research. So they're all kind of, specialists in their areas, but the technologies are changing fast. So you have to play around with all of them because this is just kind of how it is. Like they're all kind of good at everything now, and they all kind of have their, what they're good at. Like for example, the way that I use them, I use ChatGPT as just a generalist, because it's good at that. It's Claude is a better generalist, but ChatGPT can get, the things done, right? Claude has become the best at MCPs and plugins and skills, like just hands down the best at that. Gemini has become the best at any type of writing. Like, if you want the best writing, if you're looking for marketing writing, stuff like that, Gemini is just the best at this. And I mean, Claude is really good, but it's just Gemini is like that, 5% better. And that 5% better, if you're trying to get clients and stuff like that, or if you're trying to make a lead magnet go viral, that 5% makes a world of a difference, right? So, and then Perplexity oh man, Perplexity's kind of fallen off a cliff. They used to be the best deep researcher. They're still pretty good at that, but now Claude's really good at that, to be honest. I use Claude more than that. Now, Agentic AI is the new big thing. That's what Claude Cowork does, and a lot of people just don't know what that means and what the difference is between generative and agentic. Generative is, hey, ChatGPT, make an email for me. It generates the copy of the email, or make an image. It generates the image, right? Now, what happens if you want, chat or if you want ChatGPT or Claude to do things on your behalf without you telling it? Well, that's agentic AI. So that's what agentic is. Agentic is quite literally that. Based on guardrails that you give it, based on a skill that it has, based on a workflow that it has, it just goes and does the thing for you. It can do anything for you, but that's essentially what Claude Cowork does for you. You can set up these scheduled timers and a scheduled timer runs, and then it does something for you, right? That's agentic AI. That's it. That's the difference. Is agentic, it does things, when it's supposed to do it, and based on a timer, a scheduler, a trigger, etc. And that's it. Reg, which was super popular. It was a trending topic on social medias, but not everyone really knows what it is. Essentially, what it means is it's just, well, the technical term is retrieval augmented generation. It's basically the technology ability for combining LLMs with existing tools, and it can search within multiple documents, across documents, and it generates answers based on its ability to do really deep searches in multiple rounds of searches. So it looks at like in your general business knowledge, it looks at your knowledge, it can do a bunch of things. But essentially, what you need to know, the key takeaway here is that this is a technology that has the ability of finding a needle in the haystack, which is if you don't know English or don't know the saying in English, a needle in the haystack is an impossible task. Like how can you find a tiny little thing in a haystack in a barn? That's impossible. You spend your entire lifetime trying to find that, right? With reg, not only can you find a needle in a haystack, but you can find multiple needles in multiple haystacks because it's just always searching every possible area that it could search for. It searches a lot. It's like agents working together to basically find this needle in a haystack. So that's what that means. Now, AI agents is the thing that we all know about that's super trending. Essentially, an AI agent is, and this is the fundamental architecture of it, is there's the body, which is the agent. It has tools. It has memory, which is, it could be short-term memory, it could be long-term memory. It has an LLM, which is the brain that thinks. And then it has a prompt template, which is the instructions that it follows to do these things. And all AI agents are all unique. And an AI agent can call multiple AI agents that do multiple things, which is what Claude Cowork does, right? Like when a Claude Cowork session runs, it calls up a deep research agent. And that agent has a prompt template that only does deep research and has access to tools. The tools are the internet, searching the internet, for example. The memory is, it could be short-term memory just for that session, and the LLM is the brain behind it telling it to do it. So it's modeled. The key takeaway here is that it's modeled after us as humans, because as humans, we have an agent, which is our body. We have access to tools. We have memory, short-term, long-term. We have a brain, a prefrontal cortex that can think like LLMs, and we follow rules in society, in our jobs, etc., which is prompt templates, right? That's the thing. So this is the architecture of it. The way that if you can understand the architecture of it, then you can design your own agents that are super powerful and can quite literally do your job. So that's why understanding the architecture here is super key. Now, thankfully, learning this stuff has become way and way easier. The problem is that the information is changing so fast. So, you can't really go to school anymore, like I don't know, university or college to learn this stuff because number one, they're not even teaching this. Most of them aren't. They teach stuff that's, standardized. Number two, even if they were teaching this stuff, it's changing so fast. So the best way to learn this stuff, YouTube, there's always content creators on YouTube, like this Liam guy that you see in the picture there. He's always, putting out videos. There's lots of these guys basically talking about the latest technology, going over it, etc. School communities, such as the one that you're mostly a part of, where people, show you what's possible. There could be free communities, paid communities. Paid communities usually has like structured programming and stuff like that, sometimes mentoring, so on and so forth. And then there's AI. AI is a huge helper for this, and you should 100% be using AI to pretty much help you build stuff. And it can be your coder as well, like Claude Code, for example. Claude Code it's not just a coder, but it can build AI automations too. It can build a co-work as an example. So yeah, like I said before, don't just go straight to OpenClaw. Start with the Claude Cowork. Do N8N if you're really serious about mastering this stuff. Do that. It's really key. All right, now we're gonna jump into what you're all been waiting for. If you want, I can build the N8N, or we can just jump into OpenClaw. I think you guys,
OpenClaw.
OpenClaw. Nobody wants to learn N8N anymore. Hey, it's still good to learn, to be honest. But yeah, let's get into the OpenClaw. Okay, so this is my OpenClaw interface. Claude Code actually built this. There is no standardized interface, but basically this gives me access to my OpenClaw. And Claude Code built this. And what I can see here is I got two bots running. I got a bot running for Agent J, which you guys probably know about. And then I have my bot here, which is my Launchpad Fast bot, which does all of my sales. This is like my sales and marketing bot here. And everything you see here, this is all the stuff it has access to. Telegram, I can give it policies. So this is just an interface that I never need to touch. Why don't I need to touch this? Because I can just get Claude Code to modify everything by doing a prompt. But it's working. It's hosted on a virtual private server. So you can see here, bots.leadpanther.ai. So this is my virtual private server here. And yeah, only I have access to it because it's password protected, obviously. Here's all the different agents that I have running here, and they're just running and they're doing things all the time. And I can see the usage here. Um, yeah, and cache rates working. So this is pretty much under the hood. As you can see, I got Claude Sonnet running here because, there's different levels of AI, intelligence levels. Claude Sonnet's like middle of the road. It's smart enough that it'll get the job done, but it's also fast enough that it'll get done fast. So that works the best for me. And here's the different agents here. I can see the files. Oh yeah, see I can different. Yeah, so this is a key part of learning about this. Oh, it says my memory file is missing. That's interesting. It should be there. So here's the heartbeat. Heartbeat is like every time it runs, it does a thing, and I'm not going to show you the heartbeat because that's my proprietary information. There's a user role for it. There's an identity. It has a soul. So you're starting to get the idea here of how this was modeled, right? It's modeled after a human, quite literally. That's why it has a soul, because humans have souls too. Or maybe we don't if you're an atheist. Heartbeat is like as it sounds. Every time your heart beats, something happens, right? That's the trigger. So that's what the heartbeat does. And it follows. This is just a prompt. It's like a prompt instructional template. That's it, right? So that's what it looks like under the hood. How does it actually work, or how do I interface with it? Well, let me pull up my Telegram here, and this is it here. So as you can see here, I have it's my SDR and CRM bot, which is that Launchpad Fast bot, and I can say, give me a CRM status update. Now, as you can see, it's always going, it's always doing stuff. As you can see here, it's making emails for me, it's responding to emails. This is my custom build, and this is custom to my workflows. So if I gave this to you guys, it would 100% not work with you because you do things differently than I do, just like how the other person does something differently, right? Here we go. Seeing all the clients that we've won here. Awesome. That's good stuff. It's saying the hot active clients here. Cool. We got demos scheduled. Awesome. We got outreach sequences going. We got new qualifying customers. We got customers too that are on the watch list. Awesome. So this is literally I call it the SDR and CRM bot because it does exactly that. It's like replaced my CRM. I don't have a CRM anymore. I just use this. That's it. I don't need to, you know, click 100 things anymore, which takes forever. I just tell it to do stuff, or it just does stuff for me, which is what it does most of the time here. As you can see, it's just sending me messages. Like it sent me an update here. This is all the messages that are going out here, right? And this is where we are in the sequence. Cool. And this all comes in through Lead Panther here. So whenever I get a hot lead through Lead Panther, it's always scanning my emails too. I get a hot lead that comes in through here, and yeah, that's a good question. Do you offer tools for X.com outreach? I don't. But this guy, most likely, he got an email from me, is what happened. So, anyways, that's my bot. I got a few other bots too, but Alex will also jump in here and he'll show you his bots as well.
Hey, John, a quick question. Thanks for the intro. Can you share some thoughts and ballpark about the cost? Not running the VPS, but maybe the tokens, the consumptions which the agents consume. How does that relate?
Well, it's using Claude Code, my Claude subscription, so I'm already paying for that, which is sunk cost, so it's just piggybacking off of that. So that's
And that's
basically
covering
zero.
that all, or
Yeah, yeah,
okay?
exactly. And the VPS is $5 a month. So
Yeah,
you don't need a Mac Mini. Just get a $5 VPS. The
yeah,
VPS provider that I'm using is German Deutsche, so it's good.
yeah.
The Germans, they know what they're doing, so I'm happy. It works. It's just
So if I
hosted
have a
there.
Claude
And you can have
Pro
multiple
plan,
bots
this
on a
this this
single
would
VPS as well.
okay.
Sorry, what was that?
And being on a Claude Pro plan, this would basically cover for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The pro plan is the $20 plan, right? It's so the $20 plan is not going to cover your usage of
Okay.
OpenClaw. You'll definitely hit your limits very, very quickly there. You'd probably need $100 a month
I'm on the
max
max
plan.
plan. Sorry, I'm on the max plan.
That will cover it, right? And if you do hit limits, you might have to upgrade, but depends on how much you're building, how much you're doing.
Hmm. Got it.
Yeah, so this is my OpenClaw setup. Yeah, I use it for it pretty much like runs everything that I'm doing right now here. And in Agent J Plus, we actually had a video generation lesson where we taught something called the VO3 meta prompt, essentially. And so there's like a special type of prompt that lets you essentially generate really good VO3 videos, essentially. And I've just been talking to my, you know, what's it called? I've been talking to my OpenClaw and sort of building a couple of promotional videos, right? So I have essentially a dedicated marketing, agents that can go generate me LinkedIn posts if I want, generate me videos, right, that I can post on social media. It can generate me images. And so all of this is trained, right, with specific types of skills and prompts that give it access to VO3, give it access to Nano Banana 2. And so I don't have to do any prompting at all, right, to generate these videos. All of these prompts are generated by, Opus as the thinking brain, right? And it has access to specialized skills that, I've installed and have. And so let's just see some of the initial generations it came up with.
Claude Desktop, Cowork, Code, OpenClaw. Most people never leave level 1.
How's the sound? Can everybody hear it?
Yeah, it was great.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean the cost of the video generation is, a few cents. It's only like 6, 7 cents. I would say per video, right? Am I right, Balaj? I think
I,
so.
I think I pay $1.60 or so for 8 seconds
Okay.
with
Yeah,
VO
so
1.1.
yeah, so with VO, there's also token costs, right? So it's like you're paying for both the video generation and the token cost as well. So it probably comes out to like a
Cloud
dollar.
Desktop, Cloud Cowork, Cloud Code, Open Cloud. Most people never leave level 1. Join Agent J Plus to learn the Claude stack.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I got a workflow working where I actually stitched together two clips using something called FFmpeg, right? And so none of this was built by me, right? I didn't build the automation. Like I didn't have to go in and write the code for the automation, essentially. Like OpenClaw just handled it for me. And like, this is the first time I ran the workflow. And there's some improvements that could be made, but it worked really, really well, right? I'll just show you maybe do you have any questions here? Yeah, it's around 8 cents per video, and then obviously the token cost as well too, which is like the text going
Cloud
in will also factor in. And then, I also have a way to see like my markdown files as well too here. And yeah, just like you can see the prompt I have in the background over here. So it's a very, very detailed prompt. I didn't write any of this. I just prompted it with the library, right, and our meta prompt structure, and I just asked it to kind of create a template now for the videos. So that's marketing, that's generating videos, super exciting, super visual and stuff. I also have it, helping me with lessons. So like we'll draft lessons as well too, curriculum. So a lot of the curriculum, it's like I'm reviewing the curriculum, it's writing to Notion, right? And it's creating all of the necessary resources as well too in the back end. And then, yeah, I'll just show you. We have a Claude Cowork lesson here. Did the entire structure for us. So we're going to teach people how to actually set up, Claude Cowork live and the best setups as well. What else? Yeah, and also have it coding for me too, as well. So it'll actually go launch projects for me, and it'll actually use Codex, right, to launch the products as well too. So everything that I build, essentially, I have, my Ineco, my OpenClaw build for me. And it also manages every email that comes in, right, for any clients. And I'm helping people set up OpenClaws for their businesses as well too. And so I can keep track of all of that through my OpenClaw.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Amazing. Thank you, man.
and the one of the things I want to mention too is like, even at a more advanced level now, OpenClaw can manage swarms of agents as well too, meaning it can manage, multiple instances of Codex or Claude Code and build things for you as well.
Yeah, and it's just incredible. And we go over all this in detail in the Agent J community, which a lot of you already hear. David, you're in it. So
Yeah.
John, you're in it too. Yeah, you guys are awesome. So yeah, your next steps is to join that community like David has and John has. And or if you're on the edge of that, no worries. In the free community here, we have the automation of the week, the build of the week, the vibe code of the week. Now you can view this, but you can't participate in this anymore. So just as a quick update, a lot of you have already been a part of this, but we're moving this over to the Agent J Plus community, and we're gonna basically help you guys do your build of the week and do your vibe code of the week, etc. So we're going to use this time to help you build your stuff. And then, but in the Agent J free community, you'll be able to view everything, but you won't be able to participate. Okay. But if you do want to participate, then you're going to have to join the Agent J Plus community. In the Plus community, you're going to get honestly too much value. So we're going to help you get an AI automation built in 90 days, or work with you one-on-one money back guarantee until we do that. So we already have a few people here that are already in the process. And today they just learned, what was the lesson that we had today, Balash?
Voice agents. How
Yeah, I
to
just did
set up your
voice.
own, yeah, voice agent, put it connected with a webhook to N8N automation and a database and deliver information back.
Exactly, yeah. So that's one of our 12 lessons for our structured curriculum here. And we're currently in module 3, and all of the lessons here, it's all recorded in Agent J here. So if you go into here, you can see all of them here. We're giving you, not only do we give you, the slides and all the details here on what you need to know. We just tell you like this is what you need to know, but you have the recordings of all the lessons. So prompting 101, mastering N8N. This is if you want to really get into the technicalities of it and learn that stuff too. But we're also not only are we doing that and teaching you AI agents in multimedia content generation, teaching you how to do that, which was what we just did this week. But we're also going over, starting next week, Claude skills, cowork, and OpenClaw. So that's what we're going to be doing over the coming weeks and months. And this is the real stuff. This is what everybody wants. So that's what you get. That's what's nice about being in this community is because the new tool, the new thing is just always changing, right? And we have myself and Alex, we're on top of this real fast. And so we're always learning the new thing, and then we're always teaching everybody else how to do it. We're the first ones to do it. So now, as a thank you for all of you for joining, you can get the Claude Skills Pack here. So you can go ahead and scan this. And if I open it up, I'll just go over what's in it. Basically, it's all my lead magnets here. So it's all here. Lots of goodies are here. Now, the problem with this is, if you don't know how to set this up, then it's going to be a little challenging. So there's steps here on how to do this, of course, but in the Agent J community, we're going to tell you exactly how to do it. We're going to do it with you. So it's going to make the process a lot easier. And this is our final month of our inaugural pricing. We just started this like a few weeks ago. Actually, I guess March 1st we started it. So we are giving a promotional, so you can use the keyword fast track. When you join Agent J Plus, right after join it, just DM me the keyword fast track, and we're gonna have. We know that you're going to be on this webinar, but if you're on this webinar, you're going to have a free one-on-one consultation with you and basically lay out a roadmap for you on how to build this, help on how to build the thing that you need to build for your business, right? And yeah. So on that note, I will open it up to questions. More questions, because there's already been a few. Great questions, by the way.
So when signing up on Agent J Plus, using the keyword fast track in a direct message to you then, or during the login?
Yeah, you just so after you sign up, you just message me. But Andre, like we're gonna see your name come in anyways, and then we're gonna know it's you because we recognize all the people here on this call. So you message us first, but if we don't, we'll end up sending you a message too. So don't worry about it. We'll send you a message with a link to schedule this consultation.
Yeah, I will reach out to all new members anyhow. So
I have a suggestion for something that I think would be great for the group.
Go for it, man.
Learning to build skills.
Yep.
I think if we really had a course where we break down exactly what a skill is, how it's put together, all the instructions that go with it, and then once we get OpenClaw up and running and we've got other people that we're doing it for, we can then go out and build those skills for them. And that
100%.
skill then becomes something we can charge. And I think once we get a really good skill that is of high value, we can command a lot of dollars for it.
Absolutely. So what I recommend your next steps is, David, is there's a lot of good examples of skills in here. Go through the this file here that I shared with you guys, the Claude Vault, and find the skills that you want built. And then we're going to help you build it for you. That's what we're going to do. And we already have, it hasn't happened yet, but as you can see here, we have the Claude skills curriculum here. So see, we already
Ah,
have some information here on how to do it. Yeah.
okay,
And we're
great.
going to starting next week is we're going to start lessons for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really excited about learning that.
Yeah, and if there's any
It's the
particular
best.
skills, if there's any particular skills that you're thinking about and you're like brainstorming about, feel free to like post in the community as well too. And then, I'll answer, like Blaj will answer. We'll help you like work through that.
Well, I took the LinkedIn profile optimizer that you shared with us, and
Yeah, that's right.
I I put it into Claude, and I said, let's build a skill out of this. And it said, oh, yeah, great. This is really good stuff. So I played with it for a while and I actually built a skill out of it. But I don't think, I can't do it. Claude's doing it for me. But
Yeah.
I would like to learn, the foundation, the basics, so that, when someone comes to me with a problem, I can say, oh, yeah, we can do that. Or I have a repository of skills that I can reach to and say, okay, let's modify this one or use this one.
Yeah, we'll teach
We're
a
actually,
yeah, we have a framework, right, for creating skills as well too. So definitely great suggestion. We'll get that out soon.
Okay, cool.
and we're going to add you already have access to this vault. We're going to add all of this plus all future skills. And we're going to add like up to like, how many skills do we have, Alex? We just haven't uploaded it yet, but we're going to upload like thousands of skills
Oh my
to here.
goodness.
So
Yeah, we're putting
yeah,
together a
yeah,
list of like 1,000 plus.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
see, I see that. See, I see helping a business up, getting their OpenClaw up and running, and then teaching it all about their business and training it on their personality, and then I see
Yep.
selling the skills as the next level for them. Okay, you want to do this? Okay, here we'll take this skill and we'll use it, and then they pay us for that. We become
100,
the expert.
100%, 100%. And, we're going to have detailed lessons on like what a soul is, tools are, identity for when you start building your OpenClaw bot. And then we'll even have lessons on why you should do, for example, OpenClaw over Pradoc. I think it's called Pradoc. Prad, Pradoc, DOK, Pradoc bot, OpenClaw. It's a terrible name. I hate these names. Why do they have to make the name so terrible? Pradoc? Pradoc bot? No, I'm hallucinating, guys. I'm hallucinating like AI. I thought it was called Pradoc. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called, but it's something else. So, you know what? I'll just ask it. Jesus. All right, let's find out. I think it's this bot here. Or it could be, yeah, it's this bot. Are you OpenClaw or something else? 'Cause I don't know. You know what? Like, you know why I don't know? Because Claude Code built this for me. That's why. See, here's Claude Code here. Here's me talking to it, telling it to basically make updates to it, change the status mode, change the heartbeat, stuff like that. That's why I don't know the name. I just tell it what I want, and we just work together and make it work. But
Praktor. Praktor? Is that the
Practor,
Praktor?
Practor, yeah, that's it. Practor,
Yeah, Jorge,
Practor.
George, Jorge.
This is it. Practor bot.
Yeah, but yeah, there we go.
Practor. This is it. Yeah, here. So this is
So
a new bot, and as you can see, it doesn't even have like a website or anything like that. It's just open source bot, and it works. So I used it for the first time, and it's quite good actually. We may even just start teaching this over OpenClaw because the thing about OpenClaw is you guys need to know is that OpenClaw was just a side project. Some guy from Silicon Valley who's insanely smart, he just made it as a side project. That's it. And then he sold it to who did he sell it to? Like I think he sold it
well,
to
he
Meta.
got
Open.
well, no,
Yeah,
OpenAI
Oh, to
paid the guy
OpenAI. That's
essentially
right.
to start contributing and stuff, and yeah, it was kind of like an acqui-hire, not really.
Yeah. So the point being is OpenClaw was never a finished product. Never was. It was just a side product. So OpenClaw has issues. So that's why it's not great. But because this guy invented OpenClaw and the idea of it works, now a ton of competitors out there that are trying to, make this a product and make it better exists. And this is a Practor, not Praddoc, Practor.
Also,
Horrible name is the
NVIDIA
example.
NVIDIA is also coming out with an enterprise version of OpenClaw called NemoClaw.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, that's
Isn't there like a nano claw as well?
yeah,
Nano
the
claw bot?
NemoClaw is going to be the enterprise version of
Oh
OpenClaw,
yeah,
and
there is.
it'll run on their like GPUs and stuff. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So here's another one. See, nano claw, which is a lightweight version of open claw, apparently. Cute little emoji
Yeah.
there.
I ask you one more question,
Yeah,
John, please.
yeah,
Yeah.
go for
So
it.
you built everything up on OpenClaw natively on a VPS, right?
Yeah.
There are also services outside like MyClaw where you have some predefined environment. But you say also if you're a non-coder, it's possible to do OpenClaw on a VPS.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If you know how to use, which we're gonna, honestly, the biggest skill to learn right now is vibe coding. Vibe coding is the most powerful thing. So vibe coding plus prompt engineering. If you know how to prompt engineer, you know vibe coding, you can build anything. Because I don't know how to code, but I know how to vibe code, and I vibe coded all of this. I mean, all of this. I vibe code my automations. I vibe coded this entire dashboard that you see here. This is all vibe
Mhm.
coded, all of it.
Mhm.
And this isn't an official dashboard. This is a dashboard that I vibe coded with, and we went through the prompt chain of thought with Claude, and
Yeah.
then Claude made it for me, and it works.
Mhm.
As you can see here, I can even view my own messages in here too. I can see which tool it's using, which is really
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, none of this would have been possible if I didn't know vibe coding and I didn't know prompting. And vibe coding is just like, it used to be like, for example, just for making websites,
Mhm.
like bolt.new, for example, or Lovable, for example. But now it's more than that. Now vibe coding makes automations for you. It can make your own custom skills if you want. It can make your own workflow. All of this is possible with vibe coding. So vibe coding is just becoming more and more of a thing. Vibe coding is even being part of apps now. All these
Mhm.
types of SaaS apps, they're now going to be all vibe coding friendly. And how are they vibe coding friendly? Well, the little thing called MCPs.
Yeah.
MCPs means you can connect with the app and means you can vibe code or vibe interface with that app. And I'll
Mhm.
pull up my Claude just to show you this. Um, and so everyone's rushing, at least all the smart people are rushing to basically, so you see, I can chat with
Yeah.
so many things, right? So if I make slash command here, and you can see here's the research, here's all of my connectors, right? All of these
Mhm.
connectors you can see here, Cloudflare, Fireflies, GitHub, Gmail, Notion, Slack, etc. It's all possible because of MCP. So these are all MCP connectors, and there's a store of, already existing connectors here that you could use, or you can add your own connector here, like a custom one if you want, for example.
Mhm.
And with these connectors, I can, like I could just interface with apps. And as you can see here, I pull in my leads from Lead Panther. And, whoa, this
Yeah.
is new. Whoa, I heard about that the charts are in this. Look, it actually visualized all of this. Give me new leads over past 24 hours. And guess what? Now it's just going to interface with the app.
Mhm.
So now I don't even have to touch the app if I want. So that's the future. It's just vibe
Yeah.
coding is just becoming more and more and more of a thing. And it's better, right? Like it saves time. Like instead of you having to figure out how to, here's Lead Panther, instead of you figuring out how to use it and whatever, and it just does it for you. The AI does it
Mhm.
for you, right? So why wouldn't you do this? So that's the future of apps. It's just all vibe coding. And that's why Claude is quite frankly crushing it right now. And that's why Claude made $6 billion last month alone, because they have the best connectors.
Yeah.
Far superior than ChatGPT. ChatGPT has connectors too. Like I can go to chatgpt.com. I can log in. I'm not even logged in on this one. I don't use it that much, guys. But if I log in here, I have it logged in here. GPT. And I'll show you. So let's check a look. We're logged. Yeah, we're logged in. We're on the Plus plan. Good. I pay for the $20 for ChatGPT because I use Codex. But They have apps. They call it apps. It's the same thing, but the amount of apps that they have is, as you see, is limited. Like they released this 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago now. Yeah, 3 months ago now, and there's been no updates, zero updates. Whereas Claude, every single week. Oh, look, it's still going. Isn't that nice? Wow, it's gonna bring everything into a table for me. Man, it's just getting better and better. It's incredible. But with Claude, it's the amount of connectors that's come into it, it's just
Yeah,
increasing every single week. Every week more and more and more and more and more. So it's just gonna get to the point where every single app has this.
yeah,
So and you guys, like I said before, you're at the beginning here. Like I know you're not behind. Don't worry. You're all in this yellow here. And soon with H and J, you're going to be in the red, which means you're going to be at the very beginning of the bell curve, if you guys know what the bell curve analogy, which is a very good place to be in. Because with all bell curves, there's a wave. Here, I'll visualize it. Bell curve. Pull
yeah,
up the bell curve here, the classic distribution bell curve. We're all here. Literally, this is where we all are. So we're all in a good place, right here. Yeah. And then all the people that have used ChatGPT, they're all ChatGPT paid, they're all here. So, but you guys are before that. So this is a very good place to be in. And you're already coming up with fantastic ideas. Like David here is thinking, well, how am I gonna, like, I'm gonna sell this to businesses. Of course you're gonna sell this to business. Of course you're gonna profit from this. Sorry, I went on a little bit of a rant there. I hope you guys appreciated that rant.
Hey,
I see
John.
No,
David. I get really passionate about this stuff because I love it. It's the best. So that's why
Hey,
we all do this. Like that's why it's me, Alex, and Balaj here. Like I'm doing this stuff because I love it. I want to help you guys. And quite frankly, there's just too much junk that I see out there. Like I see people being like, "Oh, pay us $1,000 and we'll teach you Claude code." And you never need to be technical at all. It's like you
mhm,
can pay that $1,000, but going from zero to Claude code, you're gonna fail. And now you're out by $1,000. And so like there's steps to this. You can't just go from zero to 100. You gotta learn the steps to this. And that's why like I'm passionate about this stuff. That's why the curriculum that I've come up with, that we've come up with, is like it's the best because it's just the technologies changes so fast. Where's my Agent J here? I can't even see it. Maybe I close out. Here we go. I did close it, but you guys get it. It's like that's why with the Agent J Plus, it's just as it changes, you learn the new stuff. We learn the new stuff, we pass it down to you. You're staying in the know. Fixed curriculums are dead. When it comes to AI, there is no such thing as fixed curriculums. And I've worked with some people, I don't want to name drop them, but some big companies have reached out to me, asked me to make curriculums. I helped them, I consulted with them. We made a curriculum, and I warned them, like, guys, like, selling this curriculum is disingenuous because in a few months from now, there's going to be a different thing. So, concrete example, last year in like October, November, I created an N8N curriculum for a big Silicon Valley tech company that does, I don't want to say the name, but they've raised a lot of money. And they wanted me to be the teacher for it. I'm like, I can't do that. I can't teach something that's going to be obsolete in a few months from now. Like, I just can't do that. And I can't give you a fixed curriculum because it's going to change. And guess what? It's already changed. Like, you guys don't even want to know N8N anymore. And you shouldn't know N8N. It's pointless. It's pointless to learn that because Claude Skills has already replaced N8N. Claude Code has already replaced it. And these are the technologies to know right now in the coming months, maybe at the end of the year, no idea what it's going to be. But at this rate of how fast we're moving, it's going to be something else. Guarantee it. And so if you stick with us, you're going to be in the know, and you're always going to be knowing the latest thing. You're going to be at that 0.1% or 0.4% in that bell curve, and you're going to be in that red box always with us. Another rant there. I apologize, but I gotta stop with these rants, these bell curve pictures here.
I was talking
Here's
with
Agent
my
J.
I was talking with my wife the other day, and I've been in marketing, and our business is 22 years old. And I said, I've
Holy
never
crap.
been more excited about the opportunities and what we have today utilizing AI than all of the stuff we've ever done. And she knows that and she understands it because every conversation I have with her, she's, what are you talking about? She has no idea. She says, can I get into your ChatGPT? And I said, well, yeah, sure. You know,
She's probably used ChatGPT, the free version. She's probably in the green population here,
oh,
the 16%. Yeah.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
I was talking about Claude when you showed me Codex, and I said, well, today I was working with Inside Claude. She says, I don't have access to that one, do I? I said, well, yeah, you can. I'll give it to you. But my daughter and my wife go into my Chat GPT, and they're doing all this girly stuff inside there. I keep you're screwing with that, but it's
Well, yeah, the sky's the limit for the use cases here. Like, I mean, a lot of people are using it for marketing and stuff like that, but you can use it for quite literally anything. Like Alex showed us how he's using it as creating content. It's helping him with this course, right? Like you're making the curriculum here. Of course, he's reviewing it and all that stuff, but it's more than just that. Like I know guys that are running entire TikTok businesses and YouTube businesses, and all they're making is video generation. And they've made an entire business around. Now, with the video generators, you can only do 8 seconds at a time, but they figured out how to stitch together like a 2 to 3 or 4 minute video with all 8 second clips. And like you don't even notice that it's 8 second clips because every 8 seconds it changes to the next thing. But it's like kind of a continuation of the video. It's all like part of the same video there. So you can see subtle changes, but that's how they're doing it. So, but there's so many use cases here. Like it can also replace music generation too. Like the future of music generation is all going to be AI generated.
yeah.
Like yeah, it's just and
Well,
people who like you never, for example, like I don't know, like I was never a marketer, never. And now because of AI and all this stuff, I can make all of this marketing content, which I'm a terrible writer, but I've become a good writer because of marketing, because of AI and all this stuff. And I'm able to make images, really good images on brand all the time because of AI, and something I could never done. I would have had to hire professional graphic designers and pay them like a retainer of 5,000 a month. Now I'm doing it automated, completely automated. So it's just the sky's the limit
yeah,
with what you
it's.
can do and offer.
I just wish I'd be around for another 40 or 50 years.
Well, with the GLP-1s, guys, we're in the golden era right now because not only is like AI like the best thing ever, but GLP-1s is like, leading to all these health advancements as well. And it's like there's all these new health advancements that are coming out. And the GLP-1s just open up like a flood of new drugs that are not only helping us with like losing weight and helping us with our attention as well. I think it helps with like ADHD, but it's also helping with like long-term diseases and extending life expectancy. So it's just opened up like this whole can of worm with basically health as well. So I'm saying that the health advancements is going to be insane because of GLP-1s. So GLP-1s is solving health. ChatGPT is solving intelligence and making you make more money with business. So
Well, I see quantum.
it's a
I
brave new
see.
world, man.
I see quantum computing making what we're doing today look like the horse and buggy, because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
where I think it'll resolve every disease known to man. They'll be able to go in there and find out what the gene is that triggered that disease and fix it immediately. Um, I think there's going to be
Yeah.
like you said, it's unlimited, and it's so exciting to see it all happen.
Exactly. That's what these guys are doing, exactly what you just said. The guys that technically invented AI at Google DeepMind, they invented it to solve this. Um, they're trying to solve DNA sequencing, which is like one of the hardest problems that mankind has ever solved. And, not only are they doing Gemini, but they're solving a much, bigger problem, which is this. Yeah, which is a really hard problem. So yeah.
Yeah, who knows? 150, 200-year-old person living that long may be a reality someday. Because
I think so.
they'll
Yeah.
stop aging and no disease. So you might be able to hang around for a lot longer.
I think so. Man, we still got like four, eight. We got 16 of us here. Wow, you guys, and we're way over. I've been enjoying this. I hope you guys have been enjoying this. I hope you've enjoyed my rants.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so incredibly mind-blowing to think of. Every time you speak, you show me something. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'd never heard of it, and like you said, I'm in the yellow somewhere, I think.
You're in
But
the yellow for sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's so amazing that there's so much out there. Personally, I think it's a bit overwhelming. So I
Yeah.
need to try and focus a little bit more on one subject matter and really, really get good at that, which is one of the things I talked about, the skills. I really,
The
really want
skills.
to, yeah, I
Yeah.
really want to know that. Because I think that for me can be, I have a thing called Mission 1 Million. I want to touch at least 2,000 plus businesses in some way. And I know
That's
if I
awesome.
do that, that I will touch 1 million people through the ripple effect. So that's my ultimate goal. So if I can, get those 2,000 businesses utilizing something that I've created or been affiliated with, someday I'll reach that 1 million. Now, I'll never know it really happens, but it's nice to have to dream about it.
It's the ripple effect, right? So that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You're touching
Yeah, exactly.
16 of us, and we're going to go out and touch 16,000, right?
Yeah. Exactly. All right, guys. Well, on that note, thanks so much. Remember, next steps is get the Claude vault here, go through the skills and join Agent J, use Fast Track, and then tell us what you want to build, and we'll give you that roadmap. And then start next week, we're going to start doing this. We're actually going to start diving into the skills and doing lessons on that. Skills and co-work is kind of hand in hand, but we're going to try to keep them as separate as possible, just to make it easier for you to learn. And then later down the road, you know, stay tuned for OpenClaw and that whole ecosystem there with the PRAKTORs and the nanoclaws and all that stuff. And this is the real cool stuff. I mean, skills is also insanely cool. Like it's just all of it's
Mm.
cool. Okay, guys. Well, on that note, and look
Great
at that, it
call.
worked. See, and they gave me the visual. Oh, the visualization didn't work. But anyways, I got the names here. Look at that, sweet. So thank you, guys. Really
All right.
appreciate you, and we'll see you in
Thank
Agent J.
you.
All right.
Great call.
Cheers.
So I DM'd you, John. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it, Andre. See you there. Bye, all.
Take care.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Ciao.